welcome in to episode number 2 of the Dish and Ish podcast. I'm Ravi Lulla. That's Damon Benning. Thanks for joining us again, both Damon and the listeners.
Well, I'm kind of pot committed.
It's true. Your name's on it.
I like working with you, so it's like, and I don't have to. I like the fact you're multifaceted, so I could bounce off of you, or you could bounce off of me. So
I'll be honest, I come in here with a very loose plan of what to talk about, because about 90% of the time we're going to talk about something else anyway. So I don't like to get too attached.
Well, so we are going to have to do this thing though, where we screen some of the things that we talk about in our downtime.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can talk too much for a podcast.
Well, and so I find myself, I'm like, oh, I should text that to Damon. And I was like, oh, wait.
Yep.
Nope.
Let's just save it.
Wait for the pod.
We'll save it.
Or I'll like send you some like real cryptic texts.
Oh, like, the other day. I was like, well, it could be, but what do you mean?
I like to get your genuine reactions.
Yeah,
I don't like it when you think about stuff too much.
Sure. I do it with Andrew all the time. Sometimes over the break where we'll talk about a million things. I was like, never mind. I'll save it for air.
Oh, absolutely. You got to save the good stuff for the air.
It's like, well, it sounded a lot better. I was a lot more excited when I said it off air than I did.
Well, when you have the same conversation twice, it loses a little bit of juice, right?
Isn't it weird? And it's just you. Like, you should be in control of that.
Yeah, you should.
But you just can't bring the same energy.
No, I think
it's like the third time you tell a story, you're tired of telling it.
Yeah.
You tell people to skip it. You should have caught me earlier, man, when I had the good version.
Yeah, you gotta catch the matinee. You can't be around for the third performance of the night, you know?
Yeah. Well, we gotta tell our guy safe travels.
Yes, our buddy Jacob Padilla heading down to Houston. Best of luck with those streets, my guy.
Yeah, we kind of have Houston in common. We spent some time there, right? Like my mom is from there, and we've been there several times. I just was there 2 years ago. Well, actually, is in Dallas, but and everybody's like, oh, they're not the same thing. Listen, I know, was in Houston too. Just
don't tell anybody from Texas that.
Oh, I know,
they will lose their minds.
Hey, so in Fort Worth, people are like that too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You know what?
They're like, no, we're not from Dallas. We're from Fort Worth.
You know what I just started saying? Like in that area,
DFW,
the Metroplex.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they love their Metroplex
because it's just safe, right? Yeah. You know, people in Humboldt don't want to be referred to as like the Millard of the Houston area.
Well, first of all, they're like, what's Millard? But they get like real bougie about their suburbs too.
Okay,
like if you're from
literal.
If you
I was like when the bougie people talk about other bougie people. Go ahead, Mr. Boat.
Well, no.
That thing wet.
Yeah.
All right, if we're gonna go there.
No, playing.
But like the people from like the Woodlands, which is a real nice neighborhood north of Houston.
I played with a guy from the Woodlands, the Irons.
They, if they're from the Woodlands, they don't want to say they're from Houston. They're like, no, we live in the Woodlands.
What do they think you're gonna confuse it with, the Ward?
No, well, yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to be from one of the.
I'm not saying like I'm not differentiating between the Fifth Ward and the Woodlands. I mean, like
no, but people say Houston and be like, no, we're from the Woodlands. They get real, or like Sugarland.
Yeah,
my sister is has lived in the Houston area for like 20 years. She lived in Sugarland for a while. People from Sugarland don't say they're from Houston. They're like, no, we're from Sugarland. They get real specific about their suburbs.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like Houston's like a dirty word if you live like in Houston proper or what. But if you live in one of like the
well, you kind of just low key intimated to young Jacob over here when he was here earlier. You go, oh, don't worry, you're like not in the city.
Well, that was for traffic purposes.
Oh, okay.
Because if he's like driving downtown, that's gonna be miserable for him.
It's the worst.
No, driving in Houston is awful.
Again, everybody gets in an uproar. You hear it about Boston, DC, LA,
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Oh, I'm gonna put Atlanta up there.
Atlanta lives up to the hype.
Yeah. Yes. Miserable.
Yes. Traffic is awful.
And it's so the differentiate. You hit the nail on the head. Because on the PCH or the Pacific Coast Highway and stuff, and they have the passenger lanes. There's a lot of cars, But people typically have some sense. Like they know
how it goes.
The rules of the traffic.
Yes. Everybody is operating kind of under the same procedure. They're like, we're going to be here for a while. Like
Atlanta 2 years ago, I thought I was going to lose my life. Hey, people getting over on the shoulder.
Oh, it's nuts.
Accidents about every quarter mile.
Yeah.
I would put Houston in close to that category.
Absolutely. Driving around Houston is terrifying.
And people carry guns.
A lot of them.
I just were there. It was like,
it is Texas.
Wait, I'm like, can you just show that? Or
yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, it's a free for all.
And here's the other thing, not to stereotype, but more to generalize.
Sure.
Semantics.
I was going to say, not a ton different, but sure.
A lot of trucks.
Oh, yeah, a lot of trucks. Well, that's part of what's
like Sedanville. It's like a lot of big rigs.
Well, that's part of what makes driving down there so difficult, because you're like navigating between these enormous trucks all the time. They're not semis, but they're
250s, 350s.
Yeah, you're not talking about like the little full size pickups. You're talking about the big boys. Right?
Well, when you live out in the woodlands like the sticks, I mean, don't you have to drive a truck?
Chiming in like Big Ben over there. What would you know about a big truck there, buddy?
Oh, I know about big trucks.
He's from a farm, right? He knows
exactly.
Probably knows about.
He's talking Tonka toys. That's what he's. Shane, you were a Tonka toy guy, right? Die-cast metal, the whole nine.
With a little pullback and then a little button on top of it.
This dude is wild. Yeah, that Shane. So I do think there's different types of driving in traffic. Like
if it's just a lot of people and it's slow, like it's annoying, but it's not dangerous for the most part.
So you've been in those cities, and I don't know if you classify this with Houston, but we don't fly. Well, we flew like to Dallas and but we've driven too.
Oh yeah. That's a long drive.
So some people just can't drive.
Yeah. Yeah. And they all found their way to Houston.
There's a couple of so the more I do this and the summer travel, I'm not so sure Nebraskans are any better than like,
oh no,
we talk about Iowans and stuff like I'm not. We still listen. If you get passed on the right, you're an idiot.
Oh yeah,
right. Like there's no other way around that. So there are some. You know who was pretty good? We were just in Illinois,
Chicago.
I thought those people knew how to drive on open stretches of interstate and highways.
I agree. I was
so some not all congestion is different, and some people it's just tough because the speed limit is on average is about 8 miles an hour more than what it is, but it's what everybody's doing.
Yeah. You can't just go whatever the sign says. You have to kind of find that sweet spot between the people who are acting crazy and kind of what everybody else is doing. But yeah, I was surprised that Chicago was not worse than
it was.
I thought they were pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it was fine.
There's a lot of people.
Correct.
A lot of traffic. But I thought everybody kind of understood how to drive. And you're not – one of the things that kind of drives me crazy about people here is on the interstate, they will like accelerate into slowing traffic and then be like, oh, we got to slam on our brakes. In Chicago, they understand the traffic is going to be slow. And so they're not trying to get up to 70 just to slam their brakes and end up back down at 25. And people here do that a lot.
My favorite, since there's so many accessible places like to merge on interstates and freeways, whatever you call them. I love when people speed up to get ahead of you merging, or it can go the other way to eventually not go anywhere, as opposed to just letting you in.
Yeah. People hate letting other people in.
But it's no worse than the people that they let in, like in traffic or construction areas, that go as long as they can in the random lane. And then I would never let those people over. I don't know what the number is, but I think there's only you can only skip about 2 or 3, maybe 4 cars to get back over. You can't bypass the whole line and get in where the merge happens. I'm not letting you in.
If I see you in a lane,
are you going to ride down the middle? Because I do that.
Listen, I'm not letting you in.
I've split the line.
Like if I see, everybody knows a lane's closing up. Yeah. If I see somebody get over try to get to the front of the line, there is no way in hell I'm letting that person over. Now, if it's just a regular merge situation, let them in all day. Like I usually let one in.
Literally trying to.
Yeah, they're just trying to skip to the front of the line. Absolutely not.
And there's a 90% chance anybody that's listening to this that's driven on center between 72nd and 100.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what's going on that stretch.
I generally do not drive center in that part of town. Like, it's crazy over there.
So I have some choices to make because I'm coming from 108th.
Yeah.
And I head straight north, and I can come out on center.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can get right there on the interstate, ILQ, and go all the way to Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the same, but I've given up on getting on center to head towards west side.
Pacific will drive you less crazy.
I don't know.
It's
got that little whatever happens in front of one Pacific place.
Oh yeah,
is not ideal. And I don't know what it is because I don't know if it's tricky merging. Is it the turn lanes aren't right? But it shouldn't be that bad.
It's the Trader Joe's people.
Dude.
They only come to that part of town for the Trader Joe's, and then they get right back out. So you got way too much traffic in there.
Oh,
everybody trying to get them some Trader Joe's.
Yeah. So, and it's weird too because I used to watch people stand in line out there.
Oh yeah. Well, during the like when they were monitoring how many people were going in and out for the pandemic stuff, there were lines for like hours trying to get into Trader Joe's.
I took Zoe to the zoo last week in the daytime and wanted to stop at Jacobo's.
Yeah.
It was 2:20-ish in the afternoon.
So like mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
No reason for there to be a rush.
There were still 7 people in line.
Oh, yeah.
I just was like...
I mean, it's the best chips and salsa in the city.
But I will say this. They have lightened the bag. You don't get as many chips.
Have they?
Yeah.
I haven't been in a minute.
So I got a new spot for you.
Okay.
Aviles on
Aviles.
108th and Q. It's tucked behind... There's a barbecue place right there. There's the TNT, the food truck place.
Yeah.
It's kind of there. It's on the other side. On the south side of that little strip.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
It's like a little restaurant?
It is Jacobo's West.
Okay, so it's like a little market.
Yes.
So
it is sensational.
It's unbelievable.
No, they had a line there the other day, so I bypassed. But typically, you can sneak in and sneak out. I mean, you're going to smell like food.
Sure.
So you got to be willing. Man, you talk about some of my OCD pet peeves.
You don't like smelling like food?
No. I'm showering immediately.
Really?
I just don't want people to be susceptible. I don't want them to have to. Yeah, it's
I don't
really
think
weird.
Food smell sticks on people the way
Man, listen.
I think there's a perception that it does.
If you called Miss Benning right now, what's the first thing DB does when he comes to your house? If I bring a top, I put the one I'm in the dryer.
Okay.
Keep it fresh. Not a chance that the food fumes are coming down the stairs and around the corner to infiltrate my clothes, and I'm changing my top.
That's aggressive.
Man, I
only do that type of like deep clean after I've smoked cigars.
And you know what's interesting? Not to stereotype, but you, as being Indian, you said you didn't really cook a lot. You didn't grow up making a lot of Indian.
No, my dad makes a ton of Indian food, but I don't eat a lot.
That is something that is my favorite.
Yeah,
it's one or two.
Yeah,
it's
in terms of your favorite like types of food.
No question.
Okay,
and I felt like I wear it for days.
Yeah, so there's some of the smells in Indian food that'll
how do you not
permeate?
Can we talk about?
I do eat it. It's just,
you're like, well, why don't you eat African? Well, not really from there.
I'm not either. I'm from Omaha. My dad's from India. No,
hey, you ever been to the African market? No, why would you ask me that?
It's your own question,
Eric.
Okay.
No, so it's not that I don't like Indian food. It's that I never really crave Indian food.
Yeah.
If somebody's like, which my wife is very upset about this, by the way, she loves Indian food.
Yeah.
And she married the one Indian guy that's just not that interested in it. And so like she's pretty disappointed. But
did she know how bougie you were anyway? Or has she gotten used to that?
Think so. She's pretty bougie too, to be fair.
Is she really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we sort of bring it out in each other also.
Yeah.
We kind of feed into each other's bougier tendencies. So that's going to get out of hand at some point, just for the record. I don't know when, but at some point I'm going to be like, yeah, we might have flown too close to the sun there, babe.
Oh, Lord. Lord, here we go.
But no, I like Indian food. Just I'm never sitting there being like, you know what I want? Indian food.
So this is crazy, and maybe I should keep like mental note.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever crave anything.
So I do.
Do you know how people say? So do you know what you feel when it comes over you?
Yes,
because I don't. It's not like
there's sometimes where I'm just hungry.
I don't know if there's anything like I have to have. Like, ooh, I want a steak.
It doesn't happen all the time.
Like, I don't know what I gotta pay better attention.
Yeah, so it doesn't happen to me all the time, but there are certain times where I specifically am like the other day, and I didn't end up getting it. But the other day, for some reason, just Italian food sounded incredible. I wanted like an Italian seafood dish.
Blasphemer.
And it didn't end up happening, but I was very aware of it. I was like, ooh, that sounds really good. Most of the time.
What would be an Italian seafood dish?
So I like a shrimp scampi or anything in like a white sauce with
clams
either like
and
mussels or I like scallops a lot. Shrimp.
My jam. I can't get anybody
scallops
in my house to get on board with me with scallops.
Scallops are so good.
I'm telling you,
this incredible.
I've said this 1,000 times, and I know it's morbid, but if I'm ever on death row,
scallops
and there's a last meal,
absolutely,
scallops will be part of it.
No, scallops are so good.
I think they're incredible. Hey, all you texture people out there, save it. You haven't had them prepared correctly.
Yeah, no, I am a texture person. If they're prepared correctly, the texture is not a problem
an issue
at all. It just tastes like it's just meat texture.
Oh, God, there.
Scallops are so good.
Rack of lamb may be on there.
I'm not huge into lamb.
Oh,
it's all right. It's not one of my top choices.
Closet. It's one of my favorite.
You take lamb over steak?
I'll take good lamb over good. Do you know why I don't get lamb more?
Why?
You don't get enough. Not for what you pay.
True. Yeah. Smaller portions.
Yeah. You just don't get enough. Although Costco right now is boasting some really nice.
They got some good deals.
Like $19.
That's not bad.
No, and you get like 10.
We usually do lamb for Christmas.
So my mom has morphed a little bit, not as traditional since my dad passed. We've gotten a little bit more creative.
Yeah.
She likes lamb. We used to do lamb on Easter.
Yeah, that's pretty common, I think.
So I thought it was ham.
Ham is, I think, the traditional. I think secondary is like lamb.
Really?
I do, yeah.
Now, I don't, this is weird. I'm not familiar with like what a lot of other families do because
you mean like white people?
No, man. I have white friends.
I do have a white people question for you though later.
Well, how would I know?
Well, so I have a hypothesis that I need to
you
test
asked me
on
the
you.
same question.
Oh gosh. Yeah, say that, Giannis. Talk to Ravi again, man. Like
you asked me the same question last year.
Hey, I got something for you. Is this the Indian food revenge or what?
No. I was actually thinking about this yesterday because it was 4th of July, right? We're recording this on the 5th.
Yeah.
And there's my neighborhood, the fireworks were intense, just nonstop until
I was pleasantly surprised by how hype our neighborhood was.
So you're into fireworks. You're a fireworks
guy. I would not classify myself as a fireworks guy.
Okay, so you don't like watching them or you don't like doing them or both?
So I would never spend an inordinate amount of money. You're talking like $30.
Okay. Like little sparklers and things?
Yeah.
Like little stuff.
I'm good. So Oklahoma Tyler, like this is his Christmas. Now ETG,
not surprising.
The basketball team was leaving yesterday, so he has a huge blowout every year. I went to the fireworks stand, 108th and Harrison. Right on the corner, West Side Girls basketball. I'm supporting, right?
Sure.
So ask the question, hey, like what's, not getting in people's business, but what are you seeing here? She got, well, some people spend, 50, some people spend 20, we've seen a couple 4,000 or 5,000.
I'm sorry. Come again?
So I used to think Tyler was strange.
Yeah.
His number's bigger than that.
I don't think.
And he did it every summer.
Yeah.
And that was his holiday. And sure enough, 2 people behind me. Guy was by himself, and I was with Micah, and Zoe was there. And Micah's like educating me on fireworks because I don't, I don't know. He's like, no, you do it like this, and you can get this, and this is a good buy. And guy goes, that sounds like me as a kid. That's why this is my Christmas. And I just was like,
if you don't love it, leave it. USA, number 1.
How could the 4th of July be your Christmas when you're just literally lighting money on fire?
True. So here's my question and this is why I asked if my white people question. Is fireworks a white people thing?
I don't.
I'm genuinely curious because
I don't know. I think
I'm not that into it.
Well, we were. I don't know if you know this, but we were late to independence.
Sure, yeah.
So
17.
Hey, I'm not trying to rewrite history here.
1776 wasn't as cool for you.
Spoiler alert. Okay.
I mean, you were talking about India. We're talking about like 1947
yeah,
here. So.
Spoiler alert. Like, I don't know about the whole independence thing. We're a little behind.
I wasn't even going there. I meant fireworks in general.
I would say yes. Because
it feels a lot like camping.
Well, I don't know, man. It's like,
in my mind, it does, because it's just a thing that I don't understand. That some people are obsessed with, and I don't get it.
So
genuinely don't get it.
Stereotypically,
yeah,
things that people that look like me spend discretionary income on: hair,
they don't explode,
liquor,
yeah, sure,
and shoes.
Okay,
so anything to and maybe food.
Okay,
right? Not fireworks has never
not
been
on the list.
Nope. No, it just never has.
So the money's never made sense to me because it's a lot. Like if you go all out, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. So
or can be.
I think.
And then it's what, 1 out of every 6 houses it seems like is doing it. I mean, so there's a lot of people doing it.
So here's the thing: is it weird, or I guarantee? No, there's no way I'm the only one. So if for every 10 people that are listening, so for you million people out there, like 100,000 are bumming the sight line off of somebody else's expense for fireworks, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Like they just pull up a chair,
yeah,
and haven't bought anything.
Which I can understand that if you're like, oh, they're pretty. I can understand just bumming a view from everyone else. That if they want to spend the money, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand the desire to blow it up yourself. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think there's some sort of so unfortunately,
yeah,
I think Micah's moving that way.
Uh-oh. Do I need to have an intervention with my guy?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Like he and I found him, and this wasn't last night because he spent the night at his buddy's, but he took some fireworks with him. Right? Yeah. He put them in a little white sack, had them in the backpack. I was like, shoot, man, this is how it starts. This is how it starts. And he's going to a family where everyone there is black.
Okay.
So I wanted to text Peyton, and I was like, hey, it's like, you guys do the fireworks thing, or is this a neighborhood thing? No, I didn't. But the night before, on the 3rd, this is so bad. I had to keep this big wet yellow bucket by us where you used to, like, I think we got it from Firehouse Subs or something. Oh. I used to look for meat to.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted a big brine, so went to Firehouse Subs and got one of their big tubs that had pickles in it. But he would like build these little contraptions. Like he would put used fireworks like at an angle and put like the tanks for Zoe on there and want them to like roll over. And we had this dumb thing. It was a pooping dog, and and he's like put it on the pile, and I'm like. The bottle rockets he put in the dispensers of the, I don't know,
like the shells, the big ones,
because he was sticking them in the ground and he'd light them and they would just pop, and I was like, they don't have enough oomph to get out of the ground, right? And meanwhile, you're like, Caleb and his friend were sitting in the driveway because they were getting ready to go to her house, and he's like blocking himself. right? And all Micah wears are goggles. Seriously, like now he does have to wear goggles. I mean, he looks like a scuba diver.
Yeah.
I just don't want anything.
Yeah, you don't want to like pop it in the eyes or anything.
And did you see the scanner report where somebody blew the testicles off?
Oh no!
Well, it said that they were exposed. I'm like, how does this happen every year?
So that's kind of what I was
like. Why do you think you can read that? That's on my scanner. Like, why do you think? Read that out loud.
All right, here we go. Bergen co-trauma, 2 patients. Patient 1, 30s male with a firework injury to the testicles. It is exposed.
Yeah.
Male with a firework injury to leg. He has small burns. He's anxious. Go figure. He just watched his buddy's balls get blown off. He's anxious.
That account for the last few days has been very
no, it's all it is.
Busy. All it very is graphic. I mean, you had a guy on there throwing quarter stick dynamite into the to the river, and he was trying to blow up water and blew off.
Yeah, he didn't let go of one, or it went off early or something. He blew off his hand. There's like that entire account for the last 3 days has just been like house fire, trauma injury, house fire, trauma injury. I was like, there's a certain I think that's what I don't
kind of like paying $250,000 to get in a submersible.
Yes.
Paying for the opportunity to be hurt.
The risk reward there does not seem super favorable, in my opinion.
I try not to be judgy.
I'm not being judgy. I just don't get it.
No, but listen though. So, like, if I could do it on the regular, do you know what I would spend money on?
What?
Good tequila.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe there's some sort of correlation there.
I mean, like, good food, good drinks. I'll spend money on.
So do you think fireworks releases the same things in your brain
maybe
that a good meal does?
And I guess maybe that's what I'm
maybe
asking.
Those people will be like, dude, you just spent $81 on that 6-ounce fillet. What are you doing?
Well, and so maybe that's a good point, because maybe that's why I don't get it, because my brain doesn't release the chemicals with fireworks that it does with food or with you mentioned shoes. Like, I love my shoes.
You like cigars.
Love cigars.
See, I think cigars is
that's one of use that you don't get.
It's a total waste. You're burning money.
Fair,
but at least but this is how it was explained to me, because I have one buddy. He's a retired OPD and doesn't go anywhere except to like a cigar bar. He's not going to go to a club. He just likes the cigar bar.
Yeah.
He likes kind of the peace of mind, the chair, whatever. And he'll have a cigar. And I'm like, it's just going up in smoke, because he's very well versed. And he's like, it's the consumption of it is part of
to me it's love.
I don't know if you get that from fireworks though.
I don't.
Although whatever it is that's released, like when you see him go up, because people applaud. Like, do you ever just sit in your neighbor, you just hear like the random applause for fireworks?
Yeah, no,
I'm serious. I'm not judging.
I don't get it.
I think there's a sensation that is released with fireworks. I absolutely do.
You're probably right, because there almost has to be for it to make sense.
So the young lady that rang us up, the way that she's like, oh yeah, like that's how she said it. I'm like, $5,000. Oh yeah. I'm like,
so many other things I would do with $5,000.
Like I don't know. I don't know if it's what color thing it is. I just think there's something.
It's got to be at some point. It's got to be a brain chemistry thing, right?
Well, sometimes people just like to see things get blown up.
Right, but again, that has to release something in their brain.
Yeah,
because I don't get that for like personally.
Like what you would pay for that for?
Like personally, it doesn't do anything for me.
By the way, are you vibing with? Because I just had conspiracy theories, and since this is just ish, it's ish. Right?
Yeah,
but
a lot of ish today.
No pictures of people getting in the submersible or anything like that part of the voyage. Like where's all the footage?
Sure, yeah. I don't know if they're.
And I'm a conspiracy guy.
I do. I know.
I know you think I'm ridiculous, but it's fine.
I don't know. I mean, it might be a legal thing.
Even pre?
Well, I don't know if they would. Because it went bad pretty fast in terms of the mission, right? Or the whatever I'll call it, the trip, because I think it went bad within like 2 hours.
Maybe they like put it on autopilot and never left, and all those people are like dodging like
tax evasion or something. Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Although if you're a billionaire, you don't really have to dodge the IRS. You just say, hey, I'm not
I don't
paying.
know why. There were some people that like had filed lawsuits that he hadn't paid the money back to.
Oh, I mean, it would make sense for the founder. The rest of the people, I don't understand. Like, I'm not sure. Like, if he faked his own death, totally buy that. Because that company does not seem real at all.
I was just reading the couple of lawsuits from the couple because the trip got postponed twice.
Yeah, because it's not a real submersible.
Okay.
He had countless people being like, hey, this isn't going to work.
Here's what I don't understand, though. And listen, somebody smarter than me, man, hit me up. But with all the things that we can track.
Yeah.
And as slow as that bad boy had to go.
Yeah.
How did it get lost?
So I don't think it actually got lost because the Navy said that they knew where it was
a couple days ahead of time, yeah.
And they heard it implode, and they're like, yeah, I mean, we're not going to share that because we don't want to tell you how we know. But so it sounds like there was tracking. It just was not public tracking.
So did they not think anybody was in there or just not worth saving?
You can't save them. Once it implodes, you are done.
No, but if they knew where it was, like if there were reports that they're lost, like go get them.
No, but by the time the reports they were lost came out, they had already heard the implosion. The Navy had. Like, so they knew that the thing was destroyed.
Well, I read. So
instantly.
Is that how you read that?
Yes.
So different. So you read that as exploding a couple of days before.
Yes.
The whole thing was lost where they ran up until the Thursday morning.
Yes.
Because I read it as by the time they decided to put it to action, it had exploded.
No. So here's my understanding.
I need to go back and reread. That's why you don't read while cleaning up the kitchen on your phone.
My understanding was the implosion happened within the first couple hours of the trip, and the Navy knew because the thing got compromised. And as soon as it's compromised, it's done. Right. And the Navy knew, and they allowed the search to go on because they didn't want to reveal how they knew.
I mean,
they have like sensors and things that they didn't want to let people know that they were capable of certain things, which the U.S. government's like, that's pretty common for them.
Yeah, can't tell us everything.
Right. So it's like, and that's not a judgment. That's just a fact. Like they know how to do things and they're aware of things. Then they don't want to tell you because then they'd have to tell you how they know.
Yeah. Same reason I get ads on things that I ask Alexa on a totally different device.
Yeah, absolutely. And so my reading of it was the Navy heard it implode, knew it had imploded, but did not want to reveal that information. And so they just allowed the search to continue because it didn't matter. It didn't change anything.
Are you wasting money on search? Or
I mean, it's not somebody else's money.
It's just a half-hearted search.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how hard they were looking, like, because you're kind of like pinging and trying to find something there, but you know, it's not like you're sending another submersible down.
Dude, I wonder if they could tell me if megalodons are real.
They probably could.
I mean, those depths it's pretty deep. I mean, if you watch the movies,
it's pretty crazy down there. Well, and you know, people always
no big deal.
Stop making fun of me, Shane.
People are always like, it can't be
that's
real.
Totally on me.
But it's like, you know, they didn't think super giant squids were real until like 10 years ago, until they like found them and they're like, oh crap, these are real.
When's the last time you went to the zoo?
So I don't go to the zoo a ton.
Listen, I had been to the zoo in 14 years.
Okay.
And I went with Zoe last week.
Yeah.
And it was miserable. And
I'm not a zoo guy.
But there's a giant squid up in the aquarium. And I was like, that doesn't look so giant. There's got to be bigger.
No,
right?
there are.
So like 80 footers.
Yeah, there's like, I don't know, I think they call them colossals.
Yeah. But those are including like tentacles too. Like, what's the big deal?
Well, the big
That's
deal.
just the guy that doesn't want to get pulled underneath by one.
The big deal is that they can ram the side of ships and sink them.
Yeah.
So like that's a pretty big deal. That's a problem.
So these things that run into these large living creatures out in the ocean, I don't know what you guys want me to do about that. Like I'm riding with the aquatic. I'm riding with
the
like
orcas.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
all these reports the last couple of weeks about these orcas
like sinking yachts and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, how many people you let just run and pee all over your living room?
I was gonna say, you're in their house, man. Like you
people just going through the Lulla household, just frolicking, just opening up fridge doors and
I don't let just anybody in my house.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, what's the big deal? We don't own the ocean.
No, but we think we kind of own everything is the problem.
Dude, if the orcas want to do, they want to, I'd leave orcas alone.
Oh, I would for sure leave orcas alone. Orcas have bad intentions.
Dude, they're the perfect. The great white gets the rep, but the orcas are the real. Dude, there's a reason they call them killer whales.
Orcas,
the best hunters on the planet.
Orcas give great whites PTSD, man.
Oh yeah,
and they're mean.
Yeah, they eat their liver.
Have you seen? Yeah, they eat their liver and then they just let them die.
Dude, those are my jam. Like, I'm telling you,
sharks,
both. Ask my mom. I've been drawing pictures of those fish since I was old enough to not get the little nub on your finger holding a pencil. Did you get one of those?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
The little thing that develops when you hold it.
Oh, like a little callus? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I had one of those bad boys at like 4.
I was thinking of those little rubber tips on your finger that people used to use to turn pages.
But you know what? They like the rubber thimbles?
Yeah. Like that, you would use to
My
turn
librarian
pages.
used to have one of those. Miss Solo. She would roll. She'd be like,
just flipping through.
I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And it's a lot less gross than licking your finger.
Yeah.
But then they started making those little curvy things to put on your pencil so you didn't get those. But I'm telling you, I've been drawing I'm telling you, if I believed in reincarnation, no disrespect to any of you people that do.
Yeah.
But if I was reincarnation, dude, great white or orca all the way. You can have your tigers and the lions and all those other man. Give me the fish.
Your obsession with serial killers makes a little more sense now,
dude. So, okay, funny guy, making it seem like I'm a weirdo. They are listen. To
be clear, you are a weirdo.
Yeah, but it's all connected. Okay,
that's what I was saying.
Okay, let me
the
tell
orcas
you,
and the serial killers.
Let me tell you why.
Okay,
because when somebody has perfected their craft.
Even if it is murdering other people?
It's still covert. I know this is weird. Okay. I don't even know if there's a good way to explain this. I want to know how people think that gets them to do something at such a proficient level.
Okay, so that we're really close on how we view that. Because I'll be honest, I have a fascination with, I think a lot of people do. That's why there's 1 million murder podcasts, right? I have a fascination with serial killers and the psychology of it too, but it's not because they're proficient at their craft. I'm curious about the psychology of what leads a person to that.
Oh, well, it's different for everybody.
The psychology of, because usually there's a lot of times you have either a traumatic childhood or some sort of
could be a psychotic break.
Yeah. And so that's the part I'm interested. What got you here? Because if things were going well, you don't get here most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the psychology of it that I find interesting.
Although, did you see American
you're just
Psycho?
Interested in the proficiency of it.
See, you make it. See.
You don't like the volume serial killers. You like the efficient ones.
How long how the intricacy I used my first love before marine biology. Well, when I couldn't go to Nebraska to be a marine biologist.
Okay.
I wanted to be a profiler.
Okay, sure. That makes sense.
But doing a little research, they kind of lead lonely lives and typically and I was like, eventually I want to adopt kids because I never wanted to get married until I just never. I mean, as you can see with my tracker, it's fantastic. But,
hey,
I spoke it into existence.
One out of 2 ain't bad.
I spoke it into existence.
1 out of 2 ain't bad, my guy.
I just was like, I think they probably have to live weird lives.
Yeah.
So and then I was like, but I'm still fascinated by it. Much like I like those. It's a knockoff of Shark Week, but this Shark Fest that's going on right now because I binged a lot of bad TV this weekend.
Okay.
I was watching how these great whites that they tag get so close to the beach at Cape Cod and the risk reward of being in such shallow water for a fatty seal.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. I was like, golly, man. I started thinking what would I risk wanting to eat? If I only knew, I putting myself in these scenarios and, how much energy am I burning to miss? Do I have to start over? Because these people think sharks just can't go in reverse.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So they
If you're playing it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes they do it. They think, people think sharks are like these indiscriminate, just machines.
Killing machines, yeah.
Dude, they're really, really good hunters. And they've made a living on stealth. Like just
they're not
the
getting into a lot of like fights. Like
the art of the attack. And which is why I like killer whales, because they're the best hunting machine.
For you to go, in my opinion, for you to go
like serial killers is land the plane.
For you to go to
so I was right. That's why there is a connection.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't going where you were going. You're like, oh, man. DV's like, that's what in the bill, the 55th killer. No, it's not that. It's just
keeping stats over here.
Like, just sometimes the evolution.
Okay, sure.
Like, I watched a show on Netflix about murder. I think it's called Murder in Amish Town or something like that. And like all these, and I just was like, just the escalation and the sophistication of the crimes, it's how the brain works, which is what I'm interested in.
Sure, yeah.
For you to go to the knockoff version, I mean, you got to be really into it. Like as a kid, as a kid, we were poor, so I always had to have the knockoff version of everything. So I don't do that now.
You wait for Shark Week.
Yeah, I'm just ready for Shark Week.
Waiting for the real thing.
Well, Shark Week got so commercial with like the fake commentary and people sitting around talking.
And the celebrity, like
it's gotten away from what I used to like.
It's kind of become like a caricature of itself.
Yeah, but there's some areas, man, where ever since they made the gray seal a protected species, like you can't hunt them in the open. I think it was in 1973. Like it was inevitable that sharks were going to start coming back to beaches.
Sure.
And historically, especially the last 15 years, I know some of the incidents are up, but so is tourism and so are seals. So, I mean, law of averages. Again, nobody's coming to the Lulla household uninvited on their boat, just ripping and running through your living room without a consequence. Like occasionally, if you're home, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, there's an F around and find out.
Yeah,
there a little bit.
You should have one of those T-shirts.
So let me ask you this, because this got me thinking a little bit. You're talking about like the risk reward of their like meal choices there, right?
Yeah.
So
to keep in mind, this all started with fireworks.
It did. So to put this in a human context, which is hard to do, how much would you be willing to, like, you love scallops, right?
Yeah.
So like think of the most perfectly prepared scallops.
Okay.
What level of risk are you willing to undergo in order to get like a perfect dish of scallops? Because I'm thinking like, okay, what if there was, because Michael Jordan said this on like The Last Dance with his foot. He's like, yeah, there's a 10% chance that I hurt it, but there's a 90% chance I don't, right? Yeah. So like, what if there was a 1% chance every time you ate scallops,
I could die,
that it would poison and kill you?
You know what?
Is that a yes or a no?
I wouldn't eat it.
Okay. What about this? So there's no poison.
Now, trust me, this is more my mindset.
Okay.
Because if there are 99, if there are 100 people in a room and 99 of them are going to live, and you give me $1 million to go in that room, I'm probably not, even though I know odds are in my favor.
Pretty good that you're,
like tremendously in my favor.
So what's the number? Because there's a number, right? There's got to be a number.
Yeah.
Is it 10 million for a 1% chance? Let's say it's painless too. You're not getting tortured
like
or anything.
Instantaneous?
Yeah, it's just like you walk in, all 100 of you walk in the room at the same time. When the person who's going to die, their foot hits the roof.
Like I'll never see my kid, like the fam again.
Just out.
Let's
say you can say goodbye beforehand because you know you're going to walk into the room.
Oh, can I say goodbye?
Beforehand. But once you're in the room, you're either dead or you have the money.
$1 million. I'd do it.
For $1 million?
Yeah. If I could say goodbye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For $1 million. What if you couldn't say goodbye? What's the number?
It'd be more than that.
10?
I'd have to see it. Like I always have a number until somebody has a briefcase.
Right?
And then it's like
that's $50,000. That looks
hey,
great.
Kids, you guys live well, man. All right. No, it'd probably be more than that.
Okay.
Especially if it was instantaneous.
Yeah, it's painless.
Yeah. But my family would be like, dude, $1 million.
It's true, but that is also life-changing money.
It is, dude. For me,
yeah.
Like, to be honest, like, people will laugh. Like, $7,000-8,000 would be life-changing money for me.
Okay.
Seriously, like, you're talking about, like, it would. Because I could get ahead.
Yeah.
It's seriously
just catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you'd be a little more comfortable.
I get ahead.
Yeah. You get a lot of fireworks.
It's so many fireworks for $8,000.
I wouldn't be getting
so
fireworks.
many fireworks for
So
$8,000.
I have a buddy.
Yeah.
I won't name him, but they were supposed to take their little brother to go get fireworks.
Yeah.
This was just yesterday. Okay. They came back and they looked at the receipt. And I didn't get into details. Was it a credit card? Did they have it in their account? Like, whatever. So it's 3 brothers, 2 older, 1 younger. They came back with $800 worth of fireworks, and both parents made them take it back.
Oof.
They said, his quote was, "Did you momentarily lose your mind?"
It sounds like a huge waste of time.
And let's say you don't get the big stuff, because they're in a neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And it's a nicer neighborhood, so you probably can't get away with it.
Kids that went and did this.
Yeah, 2 high schoolers and
a younger.
Yeah, and a younger.
Okay.
$800.
That's a lot of money for a high school kid to spend on fireworks.
Like, I'm like, at what point, I just wonder, like, did you not know? Like, did it sneak up on you? Because sometimes you think you're doing some good shopping. Oh, this is only $2.99.
Yeah.
Buy one, get.
You know how many $2.99 fireworks you have to get to 800?
A
lot.
Yeah.
119.
About 160 with tax. Yeah.
like 250 with tax.
Yeah,
I think.
Right. It's like, I don't know, what's 160 times 3? Yeah, you're right.
160 times 3 is 480.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's 250.
Yeah.
It's 250 plus tax of the $3 fire. Like, it's hard to sneak up on you. Yeah. Grocery store, like, I've been to Target. I got snuck up on Target before.
Dude, you can't.
Or Costco. Costco's rough.
Again, 2 stores where you have to have a game plan.
Yeah,
I believe you have to have that with fireworks too.
I don't.
You can't go into Target all willy nilly.
No, you will walk out with a $300 receipt and be like, "What happened?"
Yeah, it happened.
Like, what happened was.
See, I didn't really need that waste paper basket, but it looks so good.
Man, it looked cool, and I did. I mean, I could use it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That you got to have a game plan.
Costco sneaks up on you because everything's like a good deal, but it's kind of expensive, right? Because you're buying everything in bulk.
So I picked up, put down.
Yeah.
An item. Just last week. It's within 30 yards of walking in the front of the door.
Okay.
What do you think it was?
Ooh. So you have.
I picked it up. I looked at it. I was like, nah, put it down.
Okay.
I picked it up again. I put it down.
So we're not talking electronics because you're not picking those up and putting them down, because that's what's off to the left when you walk in is your electronics. You get a smattering of unusual. I'm going to say tequila.
It's past the liquor aisle.
Okay.
Because that stretches right before where this is.
That you were indecisive about
whether I wanted to spend that on that.
Can you give me a price range? Give me a ballpark.
So literally, it was about $38.
I'm going to say some kind of a meat product.
Correct.
Okay. Is it your rack of lamb? Is that what you're talking about?
It was scallops.
Oh, should have known.
I couldn't believe they were that high for.
So $38. So you're definitely not risking your life for scallops if you're not risking $38.
I didn't need it. Right? Like a pound and a half. Like it. I didn't need it.
See, that's where I always struggle, because
there's the best in the business.
In my head, I understand that I don't really need hardly anything. Like, from an actual need standpoint,
listen,
right?
If I didn't have kids and I was you, listen, I would be like mindless.
You would be like,
I get what I want.
You would be like,
yeah. I think about freezer space. Like, when's the last time you thought about that?
Oh, I think about freezer space all the time, because I'll stock up on stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to see you shop. That's funny.
Usually it's like in meats, or like sometimes I'll get these frozen meals to just have something.
Do you know why I don't like those?
I mean,
to total OCD.
Yeah.
It's not even a health thing.
What?
The boxes take up too much space.
They do take a lot of the space up.
I can't.
So that's why I think about freezer space.
I can't stand it. Zoe likes these corn dogs, and I'm like, oh my god, this is.
Do you take them out of the box?
Yes.
Because my wife does that sometimes. I'm like, how am I supposed to know how long I have to heat this up, babe?
I'm just telling you. Hey, figure it out. Okay, you're the guy that doesn't want me to pull the pudding cups out of the boxes and everything else. No, man, take that stuff out and stop putting the boxes back in for storage. I can't stand it.
Yeah, she does the same thing. So we have a compromise. If she's gonna take something out of a box, I was like, yeah, take a picture and send it to me. Because I want
What are you for?
I want my nutrition facts and I want how long I gotta heat it up.
Dude,
listen, when it comes to food, I'm not very self-sufficient.
That is hilarious.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't cook.
You told me. Like,
I can't really. I'm a microwave connoisseur. I'm very good at microwaving things.
Dude.
But I don't cook, so I
don't even use the microwave.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe on a humbug to defrost, but that's if I'm in a pinch. Or maybe to reheat a drink.
I think I told you the story, right? When
I'm team air fryer or it's thawing.
So I need to get an air fryer.
Dude, you get an air fryer, you cut down that microwave. I can tell you that.
That's fair, and you're probably right. I have to find one. My wife is very much about like the aesthetic of the appliances, so I have to find one that she likes the look of before I can buy it.
Well, she does have a little bougie to her.
For sure,
practical
for sure. Well, because she's never going to use it. She will never in a million years.
See, I used to be like that. A good cook, you think it's cheating? It's not.
I don't think she thinks it's cheating. It's just she doesn't fry that much stuff.
It's not even for. I'm telling you, you sound like me. It's a misconception. It's not just for frying.
Well, I'll see if we can find one that she likes the look of. Because I'll
show you the whole chicken I just did.
You did a whole chicken in there?
A whole one. Spatchcock, brine, seasoned, and it was $1 million.
Because she doesn't really care about like the cheating part of cooking at home.
That was my mom's hang up. Because she just got one.
Because she cooks all day. So like at home, she's not cooking really either. Like, so
that'd be travesty.
She's okay with taking shortcuts at home.
God, to be talented and not want to do it, but I get it.
No, she likes doing it at work.
That's what I'm saying. I get it because I don't say a word outside of my job unless I'm coaching.
Yeah.
I'm not talking. Probably.
And so so she loves what she does, but when she's done at work, she doesn't really want to keep doing it, right? Which I totally get. So mostly though, we go out to eat a lot. We just go out to eat a ton.
Again, double income, no kids.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're a dink, you can do that.
Oh man, I was talking to one of our old colleagues.
Yeah,
and they asked me, they go, "What's your favorite chain steakhouse? Like, if you had to choose a chain,
oh, this is a good one.
What would you choose?" And I'll see if you can guess mine because you kind of have a vibe on kind of how I am.
Your favorite chain steakhouse?
Yeah. I took some flack for this, but probably not for the reason most people think.
You're probably going to Texas Roadhouse.
So that was my second answer because my first answer to them was not the nature of the question they were going for. So my answer, and Texas Roadhouse, I love the rolls.
Texas is a powerful player.
I actually really like their salads a lot too, and the steaks are solid.
One of my buddies was worried about me 3 weeks ago, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go out to dinner?" And I was like, eh. He's like, "Oh, and I knew where his spot was. It's Texas Roadhouse."
Yeah,
I ended up going.
So I said Mahogany. Technically a chain. There's like 4 or 5 locations.
I would have not have understood the nature of that question.
And so they said chain, and I was like, okay, there's multiple locations. They're not all in Omaha.
Although I did see a Firebirds in Kansas City.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So I go, hey, that's a chain. I go, Mahogany's. And
or Des Moines, I should say.
They just started roasting me. They were like, we met like a real like
Outback or Texas Roadhouse.
Or like someplace that like normal people go. And I was like, there's tons of normal people.
See, that's a dink. That's
And they were like, Ravi, that's like a $300 meal. And I was like for like 4 people, maybe.
Oh no, it's $120 before you blink.
It depends on what you're getting.
Dude, are you an app guy?
Yeah. I like the apps. I like the sides. I like my drinks.
You're spending. Yeah. The minute you walk in the door, you're at $120 minimum.
The wife and I are usually like at $150.
Okay, she might be a light eater.
Well, she doesn't eat steak.
But still,
yeah,
like,
she does
even
like
the
seafood.
salmon's $40.
She does seafood and stuff.
Huh. Interesting.
I mean, listen.
And she probably shares a side with you, which is blasphemy.
Yeah, so we'll usually like share an app.
Do you want to try my soup? Hey, how about not? That's my bisque.
So we'll usually try an app. She does like the soup, so she'll get a soup there.
They have the best. No disrespect to Jay Gilbert's, who's fantastic, but their lobster bisque is great.
Oh,
yeah, their lobster bisque is incredible. But I mean, yeah. So we just, I don't know.
Fleming's is legit too, just not quite as silky.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I don't know if you'd ever go there and get this, but
where Fleming's?
Yeah, they have a great burger.
You're dang right.
You can only get it on the bar side.
Okay,
their burger is fantastic.
So I might do that because I've been struggling to find like a really good burger.
I'm telling you,
there's a couple places that I'm happy with, but I feel like the quality of burgers in this town has gone downhill.
That's accurate,
which is upsetting to me. And a lot of the places that people are like, "Oh, we love this burger," I'm just not a fan of.
Chart.
So I haven't been there.
It's fantastic
in a few years, but I really liked it when I had been there.
It's fantastic.
I
made the mistake of drinking 64 mules because they had blueberries in them, but that's neither here nor there.
The last really
12.
That's still a lot.
Dude, there's no I don't even know how people drink those things, right? You're talking to somebody that drinks alcohol straight. So
yeah,
you give me these little
like fruit cocktails.
It's flipping juice.
Yeah, it's delicious though.
It was double digits.
Not at all.
No, listen. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
What's that?
Seriously.
No, chard is good. I've never had the mule, so might have to check those out.
And I'm telling you, fresh fruit at the bottom. It's worth it. A little too much ice. So tell them light on the ice. Not that I'm a veteran or anything.
I was gonna say.
So there's like, if I'm gonna buy a burger out, it's rare.
Yeah,
but it's either gonna be Chard, Block, Fleming's, and that or Sinful Burger.
Okay, is that the one in Bellevue?
No, they've got one on 144th and Center now.
Okay, I might have to try that one.
And double, because if you don't love it, hit the Thai place right next door.
So Block is good, but I'm not gonna A, go downtown, and B, wait in line just for a burger.
I get it.
Right, especially because it's not like
I get it.
It's like the sit down experience isn't, like at Block. It's not.
Are you an ambiance guy?
If I'm sitting and waiting in the whole thing, yeah.
Okay.
Like if I'm in and out and it's no big deal, I don't care what it looks like. Right?
Yeah.
But if I'm like going to be spending an appreciable amount of time there.
Do you realize we're at an hour?
I did not realize.
You know what's funny? I bet we didn't even get to what you asked me.
No, not even a little bit. We can save that for later. That's an evergreen topic.
So you're an ambiance guy if you're waiting. Like you want
if I have to spend time there,
you want to be entertained?
I don't want to be entertained. I want to be comfortable.
Why are we friends? Like,
because you like hanging out with me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely. You're telling me if you're not spending time somewhere, you don't want to be comfortable?
Dude, I'm the biggest hole in the wall dork ever.
No, I like holes in the wall, but that's a good ambiance if you're spending time there. Like, I like a hole in the wall.
So the most important thing, though, is if I'm staying there, is the food good?
Okay, I get that. But I have another level of, is the food good and am I comfortable? I think that's a reasonable thing to expect. If
are you a people watcher?
Oh, yeah.
See, I think that is so overrated.
Listen, I'm not going somewhere to watch people.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm an observationist. I notice things. I can't just turn that off.
My man is king of semantics. I love it. Like, there's like 4 degrees, man. Now you're like living in there.
No, because there's a difference between going somewhere.
I'm an observationist. Okay.
There's a difference between going somewhere to watch people and just happening to watch people while you're out somewhere. Like, it's not my motivation to go somewhere, but if I'm out already.
Who knows where this thing will be going?
You're not telling me you're just sitting there watching people?
I try to mind my own business, man.
That's because you don't want to be bothered. You don't make eye contact because you don't want to be bothered. Yeah, I'm calling you out. That's why you like the hole in the wall. You're just like, nobody recognized DB.
I just
keep my head down, keep my hat low.
I want to eat my food while it's hot. That's all, man. Ain't too much to.
That is Damon Benning, too famous for his own good to keep his food warm.
This tequila was chilled when I ordered it.
I'm Ravi Lulla.
I get some ice cubes.
This has been Dish and almost entirely Ish.
Wow.
We will be coming to you every week, and we hope you enjoy.
Yeah. Don't you miss us.